And of course, ihila siya, binabatak. Ano po, applied load tension. And then, nagkakaroon siya ng reduced section. Ano po?
Yeah, sir, okay na.
And then, stress strain diagram. Okay, kasi po, nakakabuo tayo ng stress strain diagram. Hindi ka mag-function ng maayos aring aking panulat. Kumaganap siya ng kanina.
Tapos, buti na lang naka-upload.
Okay. So, kasi pag po nag-test tayo ng material, yung applied load natin, nire-record ng F1. And then, it will have the corresponding deformation 1. And then, sunod na load, mo monitor, it will have the corresponding deformation 2. Sunod na load na paparecord, and then it will have the corresponding deformation 3. Okay? Okay po. And then, paano po nabubuo ang stress strain diagram? Kasi ang stress strain diagram, we have heat stress and we have heat strain. Okay, sabi natin, kapag ductile ang ating material, ganyan lang po, failed na. Okay? Pag po ito ay brittle, sorry, kapag brittle material. Kapag po ductile, ganyan. Ano po? So, magkakaroon muna siya ng yielding, okay? And then, ganyan. So, will be the maximum stress or yung UTS po natin, pinakamataas na value, at this point naman po will be the rupture or failure. Okay, this po is the yield point. Okay, this is the ductile or ductile material. Okay, now yung sinasabi po nating stress strain curve, ginagawa po natin yon sa ductile material. Ano? Kasi wala naman pong yielding ang brittle. So ito po, as we have discussed here last time, tama po, ano, nag-discuss po tayo nito last time. Kasi ako yung mislead sa inyo. So here, yung nakuha natin, paano po nai-plot? Halimbawa, stress 1, paano po yun? Stress 2, stress 3, okay? So formula, tapos strain 1, ano po? Strain 2, strain 3. Formula po, may nakuha tayong F1, information 1. So, formula ni stress will be, strain 1 will be F1 over the original area. So, magkakaroon po doon ng stress 1. Pa, sa strain 1 naman po natin, okay, strain 1 will be yung deformation ng length 1 over the original length. Okay, so magkakaroon po sila ng stress and strain value. Okay, and those values are being plotted sa ating stress strain curve or diagram. Okay, intindihan po? Hello po? Na-imagine po. So, marami pa namang courses, kasunod ito, na mas maiintindihan nyo ang mechanical properties ng material. Like sa mga ME laboratory, materials and testing, ano po, makakasalamuhan nyo pa siya. Okay? And then as a review also, we have discussed what is the elastic behavior, meaning elastic behavior, nasa elastic region pa siya. Okay? The perfectly linear proportion of stress and strain is what we call the elastic region or the elasticity property of the material. Okay, and then once you remove the applied load, it will return to its original length or original shape. Okay, yielding naman po, na-reach niya yung threshold niya or limit ng kanyang pagiging elastic. Okay, then it will have a yielding hanggang sa magkaroon na siya ng plastic deformation. But while doing that, nagkakaroon siya ng strain hardening. Okay? Ibig sabihin, nag-absorb siya ng energy, tumitibay or lumalakas ang materials. Until such time, na-reach niya ang ultimate niyang lakas, ay bababa na ang strain until it reaches its failure. Okay pa? Naintindihan? Ganun po na. So we already discussed this one naman po. And then, let's proceed with this ductile material. Okay? So this ductility can also be measured. Okay? Ang pagiging makunat ng isang bagay, nasusukat siya. Okay? How? Through the percent elongation, okay? And the percent reduction area. Ayan po. So, sasauluhin lang po ang formula. Ang percent elongation po is the final length. So, if we have here yung ating specimen, pag in-applyan po natin siya ng force, applied load, okay, di po ba magkakaroon niya na certain elongation, no? Ganda ng drawing ko, no? And the final length, ito po yun. Okay? And the original length. Okay? So, LF minus LO or simply the deformation. Minsan po, pag ito'y naka-fix, say po ito'y fix, nag-applied load din so ito na po yung pinaka-deformation. Okay? Final minus original. Okay? Nagigets po ako? Kung paano kinukuha ang percent elongation? Okay. Now, let's proceed with the first reduction area naman po. Percent reduction area, if we are talking with dun po sa cross-sectional area naman po. If we have here the material, if we have here the original material like this one, and then we applied, say for example, the applied load, what happened to the material? So it will have a certain elongation, okay? And the reduction of the original area. Okay, nagigets niyo po ako? So this is the original cross-sectional area. Okay? Ito po ang bilog na dito. And then ito naman po, or yung taas, will be the final area. Okay? We can then conclude that original area day here is greater than the final area. Okay? Naiintindihan po ang ma'am? Okay, so this is how we compute or measure the ductility of the material. Again, it is by percent elongation and by percent reduction area. Okay? Now, for the brittle materials, wala tayong susukating ganoon kasi hindi siya wala siyang ductility. Okay? So because materials, brittle material, it has no yielding. Okay, sabi nga po natin, brittle materials fails without warning. Okay, tanggap lang siya ng tanggap ng load, walang pagbabago sa behavior niya until suddenly it will fail. Okay, hindi po siya magkakaroon ng parang na liit ang cross-section, ano po, wala siyang necking, okay, biglang potok. Ibig sabihin, di siya po ay failed or siya ay nag-break na. Okay? So that is the behavior of the brittle materials. Okay? Now let's proceed with the Hooke's law. Okay? So Hooke's law, nakilala natin siya sa equation na ito. Okay? Stress is equal to the E or Young's modulus multiplied to the strain. Okay? It is, yung E natin, it is the constant of proportionality. Okay? Or what we call the modulus of elasticity or Young's modulus. Okay? So from the word elasticity, so usually or commonly talagang nasa elastic region. No? So yung curve natin na pinakita dati, yung pinaka-slope niya, rise over run, yun yung ating E. Ba? And this is perfectly linear. Di lang linear sa itsura ng graph ng ma'am, but it should be perfectly linear because this is the region of elastic region. Okay? Then we have what we call the strain hardening. Okay? So nararanasan yun kapag lumampas ka na sa yield point mo. Okay? Aalis ka na sa elastic region, magkakaroon na doon ng strain hardening. Okay? Ibig sabihin nagkakaroon ng absorbed energy. Okay? Kaya may tinatawag po tayong strain energy. And this strain energy, meron po siyang formula para ma-compute. So, ano po yung change in strain energy at change in volume? Okay? So, minsan hindi naman talaga siya given. Ang given lang po or ang nakukompute natin, na pwede natin compute is the stress and the strain. Okay? That's why for the certain problem or common problem, itong 1/2 stress multiplied to strain ang ginagamit natin to compute for the strain energy. Okay po, naiintindihan? So, dito po sa ating chapter 3 and chapter 4, na i-discussin, puro po dito formula. Application ng mga formula, principle, law, equation. Ito po. So, ang mga problem, titingnan lang po ang mga given. Ano po ba ang mga given? And then from that given, conceptualize nyo po paano nyo hahanapin ang mga unknown or ang hinahanap sa problem. Okay? And then, kapag po ang nakastate sa problem, if the material behavior is linear elastic, ibig sabihin nasa elastic region pa siya, perfect proportionality of stress and strain. So, ito po ang formula ng ating strain energy. Okay, that is U is equals to 1/2 multiplied to stress squared over the strain. Okay? Okay, wait lang po ha. Wait. Okay, going back. So let's continue po. So again, we have here the formula of our strain energy. Now let's take this modulus of resilience. Okay, modulus of resilience, ito po yung, alam naman po natin yung salitang resilient. Okay? Medyo um, kapatid, okay? But when it comes to the material, when we say resilience, okay, it is the ability of a material to store energy. Okay? Energy stored best in elastic region. Okay? So as the um, sketch is being presented, yan, ito po, makikita nyo po, nasa elastic region po siya. And the formula, getting the value of the resilience energy. So we have 1/2 and the stress of PL. What is PL? That is the proportionality limit. Okay? So sa limit na iyon, natapos ang proportionality ng stress at strain. Okay? Kaya yun po stress Tn. And the strain, this value, okay? Yung proportionality limit nila. So that is the value to be substitute dito po sa ating equation. And if the given in the problem is the Young's modulus, we can use the formula of this. Okay? Ito naman po ang ating gagamitin. Okay, so it depends to the given in the problem. Okay? And then kapag sinabi naman po nating toughness, okay? So matigas, matibay, ano. So pag sinabi naman po nating toughness, ito naman po yung energy to break a unit volume of material. Okay? So as you can see in the illustration, approximate by the area under the stress strain curve. So paano po? Yung area po under that curve ang tinatawag nating toughness. Okay, paano siya nakukompute? This is denoted by U sub T. Okay? So, kung may given na equation of this curve, nagbibigay po dyan na equation, okay? So, we can use our calculus and then find the value of the area under this curve, and that will be the toughness. Okay po, naintindihan po? So, may bibigay na equation. So, it's up to us to derive and to compute for the area ng ating curve. Okay? Tama po? Di po ba tayo sa calculus ay nagkaroon ng getting the area of the curve. So, ganun po ang gagawin. Ano, kung may given equation. Okay? And then, let's have po the Poisson's ratio. Okay, sabi po dyan, Poisson's ratio states that in elastic range, the ratio of these strains is a constant since the deformation are proportional. So, ang ating pong Poisson's ratio is denoted by nu, okay, nu and u, with the symbol of parang naka-italize na maliit na letter V. Okay, and the formula for Poisson's ratio is negative E lat over E long. O kaya minsan naman po, wala talaga yung long, ilang. Okay? So, in that sense po, yung epsilon dyan or yung E, alam po natin, yan yung strain natin. Okay? So, hindi naman po lagi yan given sa problem. Sinusolve pa din the equations for Poisson's ratio. Okay? So, paano po? Halimbawa po, may given sa problem. So, kapag po sinabi nating lateral, so basically, sa shape natin, yan, meron po tayo dyang tinitingnan. Ano? We have here yung pinapakita dito, may deformation tayo dito, given, yan, we have here the rod, okay? The original in shaded blue-gray, and then after the applied force P, nagkaroon siya ng pagnipis, okay? And then humaba, okay? So yung change sa kanyang area, so that is the deformation. Dito naman po, compression, ano ang nangyari? Okay? So dito, original po mahaba siya, tapos lumiit naman siya in its final stage. Okay po? So tatandaan lang po that dun sa Poisson's ratio, okay? So yung ilalim po natin dyan, yan po yung usual na E natin. Ano po, yung deformation over the original length. So binabanggit naman po sa problem. Ano, it's up to us kung paano natin siya isa-substitute. Okay? So again, pag po tayo ay humaba, okay? Sabi po dyan, elongation, positive, contraction, ibig sabihin lumiit, na compress, negative. Okay? So, yun lang po yun. So, again, for the shear stress strain diagram naman. Okay? So, again, your shear, nagkakaroon hindi lang ng pagbabago sa shape. Sabi po natin, hindi lang pagbabago sa length. Okay? Meron din siyang distortion sa kanyang filament inside. Okay? Yung angle niya nababago. Okay? So, as this illustration is being presented. Okay? So, for most engineering material, the elastic behavior is linear. So, Hooke's law for shear applies. Ito daw pong formula natin. Na ika po, meron tayong stress is equals yung ating E and then strain. Okay? Pag po dito kay shear stress, okay, we have naman po the tau and G sometimes refers as the modulus of elasticity or pwede ring E. Ano? And then the gamma. So yung, yan, nakalagay po dyan. Ano? So alin po yung gamma? That is the change po. Okay. So, ang ginagamit po natin usually to find this value is yung ating principle ng ating trigonometry. Okay? And then for isotropic material, shear and elastic moduli are related to each other and to Poisson's ratio according to this equation. Okay? We have E equal to G multiplied to 1 plus nu. Okay? Or yung ating Poisson's ratio. So, for failure of materials due to creep and fatigue. Okay, so ito pong creep, ang sinasabi natin, ito yung creep, nararanasan siya kapag matagal na period, yung deformation niya is, sabi po dyan, material has to support a load for a very long period, and then kapag patuloy, na nararanasan niya yun, magkakaroon siya ng fracture. Okay? Until a sudden fracture occurs or its usefulness is impaired. So, this time-dependent permanent deformation is known as creep. Okay, so matagal niya yung iniinda. Okay? And then when it comes to fatigue failure naman po, ito naman po yung failure na naranasan ng material because of the repeated cycle of stress or strain. Okay? That causes the material to break down. Okay? Because of the fatigue. And that is the fatigue failure. Okay, so this failure, ito yung ayaw nating maranasan. Kaya po, kinukompute natin yung tibay ng ating materials. Okay, so this failure, bago ito humantong, inalam muna natin ang tibay ng materials. Okay, because as much as possible, we do not want our materials to fail. Okay? So, yun. Kung hindi natin matiyak, or na meron tayong na-overlook, so eventually, magkakaroon ng failure ang ating materials. Na? So, dapat alam natin yung tolerance ng ating mga materials. Okay? May tanong po? So, let's have po sample problem. Okay? So, this sample problem number 1 is related to the stress and strain. Okay? So, may given po tayo per diagram. Okay? And then, sabi po dyan, sample problem number 1, a tension test for a steel alloy results in the stress strain diagram shown in the figure. Okay? Ibig sabihin, nagpa-test po tayo ng steel alloy material. Okay? And based sa ating testing, ito po ang naging results. Okay? These are the values na lumabas. Okay? Now, the problem is asking us to calculate the modulus of elasticity and yield strength based on a 0.2% offset. Also identify on graph the ultimate stress and the fracture stress. Okay? Again, this diagram is through the actual testing that have been done to the steel alloy na tension test. And ma'am, ano po yung 0.2% offset? Ay, may idea po Kung ano yon? Sino po dito ang may idea? Kung wala, please react thumbs down. Okay din. Okay, what is your idea about 0.2%?
Related po ba yun sa deformation?
Related po ba yon sa deformation? The offset, hindi masyado. Okay? Sige po, wait lang po. Maghanap lang po. Meron kasi ako slide. Wait lang ha. Nasa ano yung tinatawag natin? 0.%. Okay, din ano ang sabi mo? Related po ba yun sa?
Deformation.
Yes, o ituloy mo yung iyong sinasabi. How it relates to the deformation. Kasi lagi siya may deformation. No? What deformation?
Sa tingin ko po ay parang yung 0.2% po yung ratio ng pag-deform po ng material.
Okay, malapit. Okay, so let me share this slide. Na. Thank you, Dean. Very good. Wait lang po. Wait lang po. At ako'y nag-check na. Nagpa-participate. Kaya kayo po yung mag-participate na para very good. Okay. Huwag pong mahiya. Alam ko nahihiya lang po kayo. Okay. Tama naman po ang sinabi ni Ruth. So, ito po yung merong representation ng string, okay, na 0.2%. Okay? Or divide po natin ng 100, that will be 0.002%. Okay? So, ano po iyan? So, sabi po dyan, yield strength or sigma y. Okay? So, this strength po or stress, alam po natin, diga po sa curve, pag naabot natin yung yield point, okay, doon nagsisimula ang noticeable plastic deformation ng material. Okay, sa yield strength. So, ibig sabihin, bago umabot sa yield strength, ang deformation elastic pa. Okay? Kapag tinanggal natin ang load, babalik pa siya sa original shape niya. Okay? And then kapag lumampas tayo sa yield strength, ang deformation permanent. So, yun yung ating napag-usapan na. So, maraming materyales po kasi, bakit siya in-offset? Kaya sabi ko kanina ay hindi siya masyadong related. Kasi, it doesn't, the 0.2% does not concern with the purpose of the deformation. Sa totoo po kasi, most materials hindi malinaw kung saan siya mismo located yung pag-yield niya. Okay, nagigets po ako. So, hindi agad malinaw kung saan exactly nagsisimula ang yielding. Okay? So kaya ginagamit natin ang 0.2% offset method. I-move natin siya. And it's set at 0.2% offset method. Okay? So it's just an assumption. No? There, ina-assume natin na nag-start ang yielding kapag ang plastic strain niya ay naandoon na sa 0.002 or yung ating 0.2%. Okay, tiyak na tayo na naandoon ang plastic deformation. Okay, so naintindihan po yung purpose ng 0.2% offset method. Hello po. So, di po ba kapag sinukat natin, dito, ano po, pwede naman pong basahin natin siya at the limit na perfectly linear pa yung ating graph, ay pwedeng doon na tayo mag-yield. Pero i-offset natin for the purpose na safe siya, okay? Paano po tayo nag-offset? So, nag-offset po tayo, ang gagawin lang po, sinukat po natin from the perfectly linear or dun sa origin, move tayo ng 0.002 and exactly parallel to this line, okay? Gagawa po tayo ng parallel line until it intersect the curve of our stress strain diagram. Okay? Nagigets po? Pag nag-intersect na siya dun sa ating curve, that will now be considered as the material yield strength. Okay po? And that is the 0.2% offset method. Naintindihan po yung purpose. That is just the purpose of engineering calculation. Na? Okay, balik po tayo. Paano ko ibabalik yung kanina? Pag in-stop percent chain, what happened now? Pwede na ako. Present ulit natin. Nasaan na siya? Nasaan na yung mode? Okay, balik po tayo sa problem number 1. Okay? So we just discussed ano po yung tinatawag natin na 0.2%. Okay? I hope you understand what I want to deliver. Okay? Kasi po, syempre ang material, hindi po natin yan mabubulat-lat. Hindi natin yan matatanong. Saan ka ba nagkaroon ng permanent deformation? Hindi naman po. Ano? But just to make sure we can study its behavior, okay? And then we set some consideration for us to have a safe design, okay? Or safe consideration. Kaya tayo naggawa ng offset method. Now, look at the diagram now. O, may tanong pa po kayo about dun sa 0.2% offset. May tanong po kayo. So, yun naman po yung assumption. In-assume na at 0.2% offset ay naandoon po ang yield strength. Okay? Ibig sabihin, tiyak na naandoon na ang plastic deformation. Okay? So, now, in the graph, hello, nandyan pa po kayo. Ano pa daw si, okay, marami pa naman ang nandini. Okay. Now, in the graph, medyo malilito kayo. Dalawa kasi ang curve. Okay? So, this is yung pong nasa labas is alam niyo yung kantang zoom in, zoom out. Kumanta pa. So, yung nasa labas, yun po yung pinaka-zoom out. Okay? Ito naman po, para sa madaling sabi, ito naman pong nasa malapit sa atin is zoom in, into a macroscopic view. Kasi pag dito natin look at the graph, napakahirap tingnan nasan yung kanyang pinaka-elastic region. Hindi natin na makita. Ano po? So, i-zoom ngayon ito po. Naka-zoom. Para lang makita yung behavior ng elastic region. Okay? Pati yung slope ng Young's modulus. Okay? Again, yung unang curve, ito po yung pinaka-curve ng ating stress strain diagram sa material alloy na ating tines. And ang kanyang pong point na related or reference is itong naka-black point. Okay? So, ito naman pong naka-zoom in na curve. Ito naman po yung value in blue font. Okay, nagigets po ang ma'am? Kasi hindi po tayo makakapag-offset din pag ari ang ating ginamit. Ano? So, easy zoom in po natin. Okay? For the sake na maipakita nasan yung mga elastic region, ano po, nasaan paano pag nag-offset, ano po. So, punta po tayo din sa naka-zoom in. Ang sabi po, modulus of elasticity. From the word elasticity, dito po tayo titingin sa elastic region. Okay, ibig sabihin, doon sa perfectly linear ang proportion ng ating stress at strain. Okay? And then, ang sabi po dyan, calculate the modulus of elasticity and the yield strength. Okay? So, sabi po dyan, calculate the slope of the initial straight line portion of the graph. Nasaan daw po yun? Ito po yun. Okay? And then, magnified curve and scale down in blue. Okay? Ano po ang makukuha nating value ng ating strain? Pag po pinuntahan natin itong point na ito kung saan natapos ang perfectly linear proportion natin. So, di po ba projected it into the vertical axis? Itong point na ito kung saan natapos ang proportionality ng stress strain, projected it to the vertical, it will give us the value of 50 KSI. Okay? Or kilopound per square inch. And projected that point to the horizontal axis, dapat po ay doon tayo titingin sa blue font. Okay, macroscopic view. It gives us the value of 0.0016 inch per inch. That is the value of the strain. Okay? Kaya ang sabi po dyan, finding the value of modulus of elasticity. So it came from the Hooke's law. Okay? Strain is equals to E multiplied to the strain. Finding the value of E, simply be E is equal to stress over strain. Okay? So, yung stress natin na kinuha is the yield strain, yield stress. Okay? The 50 KSI. Okay? Or yung, sabi po kasi modulus of elasticity, di kung saan maximum ang value na stress sa elastic region. That is the stress na isa-substitute natin finding the value of E. Ang stress naman po, yung strain naman po natin, the denominator, yung nabasa natin sa graph na 0.0016 inch per inch, and it gives us the value of 31.2 times 10 raised to 3 KSI. Okay, naintindihan po? May tanong po din Now, another unknown sa problem na pinahahanap sa atin is the yield strength based on a 0.2% offset. Ay, alin naman po iyon? So, ito naman po iyon na offset tayo ng 0.002. Ay, ito po yun. 0.002 offset. Draw parallel line to this perfectly elastic. May nagpa-message ko sa inyo. Okay. So, this is now our offset curve. Okay, sabi po natin, ang ating yield strength ay natatagpuan natin doon sa magkakaroon ng intersection sa curve. And what is that value? Project it to the vertical axis. it will give us the value of, sabi po, 68. Okay? Yield strength based on 0.2% method. At this point, that is 68. Ma'am, paano po pag basa ko ay mukha po yung 69? Okay? Okay lang po iyon. Ano, kung yun ang iyong tingin sa graph. Walang problema. Okay? Basta malapit sa 68. Okay? Wag lang po ang basa mo ay 65. Okay? 65 kasi po ay sa pag-itan na no, 70 at 60. Okay? Nagigets ka po? So, the interval of the grid po is 10. Okay? So, at the middle is 65. So, wala naman po siya sa gitna. Ano, siya ay bahagyang malapit sa 70. So, it could be 69 or 68 na. So, yung counting points ng basa is A. Na pa. And then, from that curve, ano pa po ang tinatanong sa problem? Okay, so kaya po, nakuha ang value ng ating yield strength as 68 KSI. Okay? Now, ano po pong tinatanong? Ultimate strength or stress. So, here po, dito na po tayo sa graph na ito. Kasi dito po, hindi po natin siya makikita masyado. Wala rin po dito indication na ari papunta na sa failure. Okay, hindi po natin alam. Baka tuloy-tuloy tapos umaangat pa pala. Hindi po natin kita dito sa naka-zoom. Kaya dito po tayo sa pinaka book graph ng testing. Ano po? And the maximum value po natin is at point B. Okay? Project it to the vertical axis, to the components of stress. So our ultimate stress is projected to be as 108 KSI. Ay, ma'am, ang basa ko po ulit dyan, 109. Okay? Okay lang po iyon. Basta hindi nasa gitna. No, kasi siya naman po yung malapit sa 10. Okay? Naintindihan po? And another question is the fracture stress. So at this point, nag-fail na yung material, kaya nilagyan na siya ng hangganan. Wala nang na-measure sa kanya. Tutok na siya doon. Okay? Pag nag-break yun na yung parang may nagutok, ay siya, nag-break na yung material, project it to the vertical axis, it will give the value of the fracture stress. Okay? Yun na po yung mga hinahanap sa problem. Okay? Naintindihan po? Tanong? Sa pagbabasa ng stress strain curve? Okay din?
Kapag po may na-encounter kami na ganyang problem din, nakasulat na rin po yung yung pong scale na in blue.
Ang stress strain curve kasi bunso, usually isang graph lang siya. Okay? So, if happen na mayroon kayong nakitang problem, ito lang yung problem na yun. Kasi pinakita dito, nagkaroon ng naka-zoom in kasi may hinahanap siyang 0.2% offset, which is cannot readily be measured kapag ang pinagbasihan niya lang ay yung isang curve. So, meron tayo naka-zoom. Kung yun naman po, ang mga ganito naman pong problem ay kung ganito, exactly, ganito ang mga hinahanap, so may makikita kang naka-zoom. O hindi po kayo ang maglalagay ng value, naka-given naman po yan. Pero again, hindi lang po ganito lagi yung mukha ng curve ng ating stress strain diagram. Okay? Now, let's proceed po with next problem. Sample problem number 2. Right? So, ito naman po ay concept ng ating ano pa din po ito? Yung axial loading and then stress. Po? Ngayon lang po dito, ang tinatanong is the elongation of the rod. Okay? Kung meron daw po tayong aluminum rod, in this example, meron siyang cross-sectional area na hindi siya pantay. Merong ang isa'y mas maliit ang cross-sectional area, yung isa naman po medyo mas malaki. Okay? Given also in the illustration B, ibinigay na po ang strain ni BC. Okay? Nitong part ng ating aluminum rod na portion BC. Naando na yung kanyang strain. Okay? Pinapakita rin po dyan, yan, may mga value ng mga yield. Okay? At ang pinahahanap po sa atin ay ang percent elongation ng rod. Ibig sabihin, yung kabuuang elongation ng rod na ito. Okay? And the E daw po or modulus of elasticity ng aluminum ay 70 gigapascal. Okay? So the first thing that you should do, okay, we know that the formula, kasi ang atin pong hahanapin ay, sabi po dyan ay elongation. Okay? So ibig sabihin, sa kabuuan ng rod. Okay? So, hindi naman po pwedeng ang magkakaroon lang ng elongation. Okay? Ay dito lang sa C. Okay? Ito lang yung pwedeng umaba at magkaroon ng deformation. Kasi dito po may applied load. So, magkakaroon din po ito ng deformation. At that deformation po, yun po ang pinahanap, the total elongation sa kabuuan ng rod. Okay? So, the first thing that we should do is find the value of the stress. Okay? Kasi from that stress po, makukuha natin ang strain. Okay? And then from that strain, makukuha naman po natin ang deformation. Okay? Nagigets ka po? Diga po ang ating strain ay equal sa the deformation over the original length. Okay po? Such that if we are looking for the value of deformation, it simply be just the strain of the material multiplied to the length. Okay, that's why we have to determine its corresponding strain based on the segment, okay, of a particular portion of this aluminum rod. Okay, nagigets po? Ang tatakbuhin ng solution. So let's start. Okay, so we have here the load of 10 kilonewton. Okay, so stress AB, yan, nakalagay naman po, we have a load P. Okay, so kapag po ito'y biniak, ano po ang mangyayari? Magkakaroon to dito ng load force P. Say for example, kasi denoted yung applied load po natin as P. So si AB, 10 pa rin po siya. Okay, 10 kilonewton. Or 10 times 10 raised to 3 newton. Okay, and the area po ng AB natin, okay, is given with the diameter of 20. Bakit po area 0.01 meter? It's because of the formula area is also equal to pi r squared. Okay? The diameter is 20. Radius is divided by 2. That will be 10 millimeter. Divided by 1,000, it will give us the value of the radius of 0.01. Okay? Nagigets po kung saan nanggagaling ang mga value. Okay. Si Dean lang po. Okay, si Samantha. Si Maala. Okay. I hope everyone po, kung may tanong po yung iba, it's okay po. Okay lang po ang magtanong, ha? And then we can get the value of the stress of this AB. Okay. And then for the BIS naman po, finding the value, the load P here. So we have 10 kilonewton here. So this will be 10 also. That is 10 times 10 raised to 3 newton. And then that is pi r squared. So, okay, so 15 divided by 2 for the radius, it is 7.5. Okay, and then divide it by 1,000 to make it meter and take the squared. Okay, multiplied to 5 given to get the value of the area. Okay, nagigets po kung saan galing mga value. And that will give us the value of the stress at PC. Okay?
Oo. The power drive.
And then, wala pong even na stress ang ating BA. Ang meron lang po ay BC. Right? So we still have to compute for the value of the strain. By Hooke's law, di po ba Hooke's law stress is equal to E and then the strain. So finding the value of strain AB, it will simply be stress AB, okay, over the E of what is the material? The material is aluminum. Okay, and given naman po yan. Okay, so that's why we have here 31.83 times 10 raised to 6. Okay, kasi megapascal divided by 70 times 10 raised to 9 Pascal. Right? So it will give us that our strain at AB is this value. Okay? Ganun po. May tanong po, naiintindihan po. And then, to get the value of the total deformation of our rod, so we have to get the summation of the strain and its original length. Okay? For AB natin, we have here the strain. Okay? Ito po yun. And ang AB natin, the original length is 600 millimeter. Okay? And then even po sa atin, we have the strain of BC. So ito po iyon. And the original length of 400. Okay? And it will give us the value of deformation is equal to 18.3 millimeter. Okay, naintindihan po. May tanong? May tanong po kayo?
Holiday, 75 lang sila. Mga employees. May holiday. Holiday for
Ay, may tanong po? Wali. Oh, si Nicholas walang tanong. Now, let's proceed naman po sa, wait lang po, tingnan ko lang ang ating. We will meet on Wednesday pa naman. Okay, so let's proceed naman po with our new topic. Okay, thin-walled pressure vessel. Okay? So pag sinabi naman po nating thin-walled pressure vessel, from the word thin, hindi po manipis. Ito na. And then, pag thick, ay di makapal. Now, bakit po, kailan po natin tinatawag na thin at kailan po siya thick? Okay? So, just take a look muna po dyan sa picture. Okay? So, those pictures are the example of a vessel. Okay? Ang vessel po kasi natin ay pwedeng longitudinal, okay? Or yung cylindrical rather. Cylindrical or spherical bilog. Okay? Bilog po yung ating vessel as in sphere. Okay? And then meron po tayong vessel na cylindrical. Okay? Ngayon, this vessel, say for example, ito po, it could break doon sa pinaka longitudinal niya. Okay? Yan. Or pwede naman pong siya ay mag-break at its transverse. Dito magkaroon siya ng rupture. Okay? So, this failure of our vessel, yan po yung ating iniiwasan. Okay? Kaya, siya ay kasama sa ating pinag-aaralan. Okay? Because we as engineers, we calculate and design we do the computation to properly and accurately choose the correct and suitable material for the pressure vessel to be installed to serve its intended purpose. Okay? Kasi maglalagyan po natin yan ng fluids, either gases or liquids, and those fluids are pressurized. Okay? So from the word pressure, meaning ang lalamanin niya ay pressurized fluid. Okay? And because mayroong fluid or pressure sa loob, okay, magkikreate yun ng stress sa material. Okay po? And that is the topic that we are about to discuss. Okay? The thin-walled pressure vessel. Okay, sabi po dyan, cylindrical or spherical vessels are commonly used in industry to serve as boilers or tanks. Okay? When under pressure, the material of which they are made is subjected to a loading from all directions. Although this is the case, the vessel can be analyzed in simpler manner provided it has a thin wall. And kailan po natin siya sinasabing thin wall? Thin wall refers having the inner radius, the ratio po, ano? The ratio of the inner radius to the wall thickness of 10 or more. Ay ibig sabihin, ayan, nakasulat naman po. Greater or equal, pag lumampas siya sa 10, hindi na siya 10. Okay? Siya po ay thick walled pressure vessel na. Okay? So that's the principle ng thin and thick wall. Okay? Now let's discuss first this cylindrical. Okay? Cylindrical, yung po vessel natin na ganyan. Okay? So pag sinabi natin, diga po ang vessel natin. Okay? So we are to draw yung atin po, paano ba? So this is the, ano yan? Vessel po. Vessel, limbawa, no? Haba naman nun. Kasi matupit. And then, say for example, ganyan lang. Yan. Yan. Vessel po yan. Yan. Okay? Say for example, meron po tayong vessel na ganyan. Sa loob niyan, mga bunso, may pressure. Okay? Hindi ko na ipapakita yung lahat ng pinagdadaanan ng loob, pero dito na lang natin tingnan sa may bukana. So, ang pressure na yan, it is acting. May picture naman po sa inyo dyan. Ariga po. Ayan. Yan. Pressure. Gusto ko lang gumawa ng akin. No? Kahit pangit yan. Nag-act po yan in all direction. Okay? Sa loob, sabog-sabog na pressure. Okay? Ngayon, asapin natin, pwede natin siyang hatiin. Okay? So, pwede natin siya, pag biniak natin siya, ano magiging itsura? So, maganda na yung picture din eh. O, ganito na lang. Yan. Pag biniak natin siya, okay? Saan po siya natin biniak? Sa kanya mismo. Ang hirap tuloy sabihin. Dito natin siya biniak. Pag biniak natin siya, in its dito, halimbawa po hinati natin siya dito sa gitna. So, ang lalabas, ito po yun. Okay? So, in this region, parang gusto ko talaga mag-drawing na. Sige. Pag biniak po natin siya, wala na. So, we have May hinga pa yan, guys. May hinga pa ako dito, guys. Tapos, i-up natin siyang ganyan. Yan. Ganti natin siyang ganyan. And then we have here. Pwede na yan. So, sabi natin may pressure doon. Ano? So, yung mga pressure kapag siya ay nabiak, hindi po ba pinapakita dyan, tumatama siya doon. Ano? So, gawin natin siyang color. Pink. Pink. Meron siya doon pressure. No, iniresultant na lang natin. We have here the pressure P. Okay? Sa loob niya. Ngayon po, ano po ang ginagawa ng material? Hindi siya agad, yung pressure na yan, hindi siya agad magpapabigay sa material. Bago po maka-experience ang ating material, hindi muna sila bibigay. Magke-create muna po yan ng resistive force. Okay? Diyan sa pressure na yan. Okay? So, that resistive force sa loob ng, dito sa material, okay? So, naandyan po ang ating stress. Okay? Stress. And what do you call that stress? Nilagyan ko na po ng C. That is the circumferential stress or the hoop stress or the tangential stress. Okay? So, that stress, we can have it yung foreign na to stress, diba? Nakaka-stress talaga to. So, we can have the resultant po dito na yan. So, gawin na rin lang natin siya. Puro na siya stress. So, we have here P. Ay, P na rin. Di ba yung P natin, gawin po natin siyang P din din. Pag-ibahin lang po natin siya ng color. Okay? Yan. Meron siyang P na ganyan. Okay? So, ano po pinagkaiba ng pressure at stress? Kapag yung material naka-experience sa loob ng vessel ng pressure, okay? Anong environment niya? Yung vessel na pinaglalagyan niya, because of the pressure sa loob or pressure ng fluid, magke-create yun ng resistance stress doon sa material. Pipigilan niya muna yun bago siya bumigay. Okay? At yun yung iniiwasan. Kaya kinocompute yung stress ng ating thin-walled pressure vessel. Okay? So, balik po ulit tayo. So, sabi natin, ang pressure na ito is because of the fluid. Okay? So, here, this is force over area. Okay pa? And then, itong stress naman po na ito, galing sa material, this is equal to the force over area din, but because of the circumferential stress. Okay? So, ito po ay internal, ito naman po ay yung sa ating material. Okay? So, kapag hinanap po natin ang value ng force ng dalawang yan, ano po ang mangyayari? Dapat sila ay equal. Okay? Pag hindi po sila nag-equal, ay di sira. Okay? So, bago sila masira, ibig sabihin, paano? Okay, bago po masira, ano? So, yung ating, ang hirap pala pag binabaka yung color, ang tagal. So, we have yung ating F due to internal pressure. Okay? is equal doon, hindi ko na babaguhin. Sige na nga, bago natin. Green is equal doon sa force due to the internal, this one, the FC. Due to the circumferential. Due to the circumferential stress. Okay? Naintindihan po? Hello, nandiyan pa po kayo. O kasi kayo pag ano. Hello, nandiyan pa po. Bunso, ayan. Dahan-dahan din natin. Okay. So, ngayon, sabi po natin, ang ating internal pressure is force over area. Okay? Yun po ay force sa internal. Ayun po yung force internal natin. Okay? So, this force natin, diga po, pag hinanap natin ito, P is equals to force over area. It's simply pressure times the area. Okay? So, we have here, pink ulit, pressure times the area. And what is the area? Okay? Ang area ngayon natin is this length, okay? The entire length and the diameter. Okay? This length and the inside diameter. Okay? Nagigets po? So, this is F multiplied to L times T. Okay? Equal. Ano naman po yung ating circumferential stress? Okay? Ang circumferential stress po natin ay FC over area. Finding the value of FC, multiply the stress to the area. So, this will be, ang ating force po dito will be stress, circumferential, multiplied to the area. So, stress, and what is the area? The area po is itong green. Okay? This portion and this portion. Okay? And this po is the thickness. Okay? Nagigets po? So, getting the area of this circumferential area, it will give us the formula of length multiplied to the 2 thickness, or simply 2LT. Okay? Nagigets na po? Okay? And from that, finding the value of the circumferential stress, okay? Si L cancel, ano po ang natira? Okay? Circumferential therefore is equal to P and then D, yun po yung inside, all over 2T. Okay? Naintindihan po? That's why, for our formula, kaya dyan po, yan. Ang formula po ng ating circumferential, nasa na yun? Nauna na pala. Nasa na ba to? Ay, ito pala. Circumferential stress or tangential stress, or also known as the hoop stress, is PD over 2T. Okay? Nagets po? Kung saan galing yung formula? Okay. Hindi ko lang po maano din eh. May paliwanag sa inyo na maayos yung given dito sa illustration. Okay. And then, kapag po may given na sinabing we must take into consideration the outside or external pressure with respect to the internal pressure, we just have to consider the change in pressure. Okay? And that will be pressure inside minus pressure outside. So, aring P po, papalitan lang po ng PI minus P. Okay? Sa formula. And that will give us the value of the circumferential stress or the tangential stress or the hoop stress. Okay? Naintindihan po? And then same procedure naman for the longitudinal stress. Okay? Cylindrical vessel pa din po. Ha? Okay. So, sa longitudinal naman po, nawala. Ay, siya ka na po. Longitudinal. Ito, gawin kong flat. Where's that? Yeah. So, di po ba, nung ito'y ating biniak, talagang biniak. Ang hati po natin dito, okay? Pag kinat natin siya here, ano po ang putol na yan? This is, cut natin dito. Ang tawag po natin dito is what? This is, tawag dito? Transverse. Okay? This is the transverse section. Okay? Ngayon, sa longitudinal naman po, dito naman po ang putol. Okay? Parang CS, merong bikini cut or isingit pa nga. And then, ang putol po, ganyan naman. Dapat pala yun iba kong putol. Okay? Say, for example, we cut it, let's do a green. Ang biak naman po niya is paganyan. Okay? Nagets nyo ga po ang biak. Yan. And this is what we call no. Mali. This is the transverse. Ay, nagkanto na yan. The transverse. And this is the longitudinal. Okay? Dini nga po pala natin siya binika kanina. Okay? Ngayon, dito naman po natin siya i-cut. Okay? Sa kanyang transverse, sa gitna. Okay? Oh my God. Kaya natin ng 8 minutes. So, pag kinat natin siya, so ano po magiging figure? Figure natin. So, for example, we have the vessel. Ayan. Diba madali? So, again, nung mahati natin siya, meron ulit siyang nararamdaman na pressure. Ngayon, paano po nararamdaman yan? Okay? So, ito naman pong longitudinal stress na ito. Okay? Ang iniiwasan niya po, mag-break ang vessel, yung maghiwalay siya, yung parang hinati mo sa gitna ang hotdog. Yung maghiwalay siya at this portion. So, meron siyang pressure dyan. Okay? Ngayon, ang stress ng material, dito naman siya nararamdaman. Sa magpapagas, nakaganyan naman siya. Diyan nagkikreate na. Diyan naman po nagkikreate na stress. Okay? And that stress is what we call the longitudinal stress. Okay? So, sabi po natin, again, aring pressure na are, and then the stress na ito, okay? This is the longitudinal stress. So, this is equals the force longitudinal, okay, FL, over the area. Ito naman po, P, is simply force over area. Okay? So, yung F, galing po yan sa internal pressure. Okay? Internal pressure. Okay? So, ang internal pressure na yon equal yun sa longitudinal stress. Okay? Force due to longitudinal stress. Equal kasi ayaw nga natin siyang mag-break or mag-fail. Okay? So what is the value now of this longitudinal stress? Again, QL times the area. So this is stress times the area. And what is the area? Okay? Hanapin po natin mamaya. So dito naman po, si internal pressure is P, okay, multiplied to the area. Okay? So alin po yung area ni P? Okay? Nung internal pressure. So this one. Okay? And what is that area? That is pi diameter inside O4. Okay? That is the area. Okay? And then, dito naman po, ay longitudinal. Okay? Ang area naman po nating pinag-usapan ay itong area na ito. Nasusundan po ang okay? And that area, kapag siya po ay ating inilatag, biniak sa gitna, rectangular lang po yan. Or simply, you can go back with the formula of the circumferential length, which is the pi dt. Okay? This is the area. Okay? So, this is pi dt. Okay? Simplifying, finding the value of the longitudinal stress, cancel si pi, cancel si d, isang d. What remain is PD over 40. Okay? And this is the formula for the longitudinal stress of the cylindrical thin-walled pressure vessel. Remember that D is the inside diameter. Okay, naintindihan po? Tama ba? Ang ating longitudinal ay equal sa PD over 40. PD over 40. And again, if we are to consider the external pressure, okay, and the internal pressure, we just have to put the pressure difference of inside and outside pressure of the vessel. Okay, naintindihan po? May tanong? May tanong po? So kung walang tanong, I think that concludes our meeting for today. So see you on Wednesday. Okay? Okay, for the continuation of our discussion. Thank you everyone. Bye-bye. God bless you all. And then my